Hello, everybody. Happy 2021. Happy New Year. I haven't talked to you since the year started, and I thought, what better way of starting the new year than with some journaling, which I haven't done in a while, so no better time to start than a new year. And while I'm inspired to do some journaling, this is a great opportunity to do another unboxing of Amanda's Your Creative Studio vintage ephemera stationery box. I have reviewed this box before. I'll link the video in the cards if you want to check out the first unboxing I did of it. You guys know I really liked the last one, so I was excited when Amanda reached out to me to review a new one. So the first thing is this little notepad. It has some sort of template, like a note-taking template. I don't think I'll be using this as a notepad, to be honest. I don't really use notepads. I do all my notes and everything just on random pieces of paper that I can't use for anything else. It's kind of like giving it a little extra second life before I recycle it. But I do like it as simply random ephemera, so I can definitely use this as part of the pieces of paper that I sometimes use to decorate journal entries. The second item is this owl stamp with a couple of little snowflakes. I actually really like these little snowflakes because it's an easy way to fill in some empty space when you're doing journaling. You'll actually see me using them. I use the snowflakes quite a bit. The owl, I don't know how much I would use. It's funny, this box is very owl themed. Now, owls are not necessarily my thing. Some of them I really like. I will let you know which ones. This stamp, I don't know how much I will use, to be honest. It's cute, but it's just not on my usual vein of aesthetic interest. And then same goes to the next item, which is a bookmark. I don't usually use dangly bookmarks like this one. I like my bookmarks to be as understated as possible, just flat, small, simple. I like the item. I think if you're someone who likes jewelry like dangly bookmarks, this is really pretty. It's nicely made. It's just realistically not something that I will use much. But onto something that I definitely see myself using is the next thing is these small pieces of ephemera. They kind of look like, some of them kind of look like post-its, others look like pieces of notepad. I like that there's such a wide variety of different templates so that you get to pick whatever works best with whichever journal entry you're doing. I especially like the last ones, of course, because they have the cards that look like Alice in Wonderland. I think those are very pretty. I will definitely be using those. I didn't use these on this journal entry, but I'm excited to use those in the future, maybe for February at some point, because you know, Queen of Hearts, that makes sense. The next one is some washi tape. I am always happy to receive some washi tape. I use washi tape probably in every single journal entry I do. If not every single one, 9 out of 10, for sure. It's such a simple way to add a little variety and a scrapbooky feel to your spread. I like the design of this one. I like the colors. I like that the colors are not too bright. They're quite muted. You guys know I much prefer the darker spectrum of colors. I did use that washi tape in today's journal entry, so you will see it in use very shortly. The next item is more of these rubber stamps. This one was my favorite out of the stamps, actually. I love that mountain and trees theme. I love that it's not super specific on it looking wintry or springy or summery. It does look a little bit wintry, but I feel like you can give it a more specific season-related mood with the color of the ink that you choose. It could look definitely a bit more fall, a bit more winter, depending on the color. And then more of those little snowflakes, as well as with the next item, which is a third rubber stamp. It has 2 more of the little snowflakes. They are all different designs and shapes and sizes, so that was pretty cool. The owl that came in this one is definitely one of my least favorite items in the box. It just, you know, it looks a little angry in my opinion. I see myself potentially using the first owl. This one definitely never gonna happen. Just to be completely honest and realistic. I do like the next 2 stamps. We have 2 more stamps, and these are mounted on a wooden block, which is nice because they're honestly easier to find in the stash of stamps. This first one has the carousel design. It looks very fantastical, very with a carnival theme. I really like this one. Again, I didn't use this one today, but I see myself using this one. The one that I did use today is this reindeer one. It has reindeer and snowflakes around the reindeer. here. I did use it on the spread today, so you'll see it in action. And it also matches pretty well with the little snowflakes that came along with the other rubber stamps, the ones that didn't come with a wooden block. The next item is one of my favorites actually. It is random papers to use as ephemera. I love them because they don't only have a vintagey feel, but it's a calligraphy and music sheet theme. All of them, or almost all of them, which is entirely up my alley, of course. Anything that has beautiful lettering, and then on top of that there's also some that have music sheets on them. It's just perfect for everything that I like, so I'm really excited to use these. I think these are very versatile. The colors are very neutral, which means it'll match with a lot of different spreads. I love it. I think this is one of the best items in the box, as well as the next one, which are washi textured stickers. I love this type of stickers. You probably know, because I use washi style stickers a lot. I love the texture of them. I love the transparency of them. I love how that they're matte, because transparent plastic stickers are very shiny and they just, honestly, they're a pain to photograph and on video because they just reflect every single light that I have around. Washi stickers don't do that, but they still give you that transparency for it to blend in with the page and with the rest of the decoration that you're putting around it. And these have really beautiful designs. This is definitely another one of my favorite items in this box. The next item, it's funny because at first I picked it up and I wasn't sure I was gonna like this very much. First of all, it's a notepad, which we already established I don't use. And secondly, it has that scary looking owl on the front, which I'm probably not gonna use either. But then I noticed the first half of the notepad has this beautiful house design, like snowy cottage in the woods design. And I immediately knew that this was the first thing I was going to put in my spread for today. And evidently that is what happened. I just had to use that house. It is gorgeous. Then we have these really beautiful owl stickers. I like the texture of these. They are a little plasticky, but they're not so reflective of the light. And the texture of them is actually really nice. You can feel it's almost like glittery, but it's not glitter. It just has that rough texture, and it's just very pleasing to look at. It looks very interesting. It feels very interesting. And you know, these owls I like. I think maybe that's just because they remind me a bit of Hedwig and Harry Potter. And then just in like the previous box, she finishes the package with some assorted papers. These papers are always very versatile to use in different types of spreads. I love them. I have tons of different papers, most of it from Michael's, but I have quite a few from different subscription boxes like this one. They're fun to use. I like that it has this bluish wintry feel, because most of the papers I have that are Christmas or winter themed are very much Christmas themed. I do like that the pattern in these papers is very subtle, so that way it combines very well with other things in the page. So that's all of this stuff in the box. Here you can see me putting it all together, so you can see in one single frame everything that comes in the box. The price for the box is $28.20. That is US dollars, and it includes shipping to the US and to Canada. And one great thing about it is that you don't have to subscribe to a monthly thing in order to receive it. You can just buy a one-off box whenever you'd like to try it out, which for me is very important. I mentioned this in the previous video. There is nothing specific that I want to get every single month of my life, because that would just become hoarding and it would take over my entire studio, and I don't want that. So I much prefer boxes like this that once in a while I can just make myself a gift and get it and try it out and enjoy the contents. So on to the journaling. Of course, yes, I started with that snowy house from the originally questionable notepad. And then I wanted to play around with the stickers to see what would match it, because I knew I wanted to use many of those washi stickers along with the washi tape. I also used some of the stamps and the owl stickers, as well as, of course, because it's a journal entry in the Sunday scriptorium, I had to do some calligraphy, so you'll see some of that as well. But I would like to move on and talk about what I actually journaled about, which is the second part, I guess, of the topic of this video, because it is something that I've been thinking quite a bit about lately, and I figured it's a good thought to start the year with. So it's a topic that came up while teaching my accordion student. He's a 6-year-old student, wonderful, wonderful student, as well as just a awesome person. I genuinely love spending class time with him because he's just so much fun and fun to talk to, and again, a really good accordion student. So at some point during the class, I can't remember why, I just made a comment mentioning my teacher, because I am also taking accordion lessons, and I plan on always doing that, because the way I see it, there is always going to be someone that knows more than you. So it doesn't matter how advanced I get, I always want to continue learning from other people. So during the class, I mentioned my teacher, and his response was, "Oh, you have a teacher, so that means you're not a master." It was something around those lines. And I was at first a little baffled, like, how do you answer to that? Of course, I don't want to tell my young student that I'm not a master at something, but the truth is I'm not. I'm not a master at anything, I think, or that's what I think, because when I think of a master, I think of someone who is beyond being a student, right? Someone who has already surpassed all of the levels of learning and can teach anyone anything because you're a master. You're masterful at something, which implies that you know everything. Well, no, it doesn't. And I think that's precisely the problem that comes along with that, or the pressure that comes along with that word, because it's one or the other. It's seen as you're either a master or a student, as if there was no in between. What happens about the in between? Are you just permanently a student until you know everything? But there's no such thing as knowing everything. So then there's no such thing as being a master. So how do you define that? And that's where I started thinking, well, maybe I should adjust the way I'm thinking about it and maybe steer him in a different direction as well, as I talk about it after he asked about it being something more of a spectrum. It's not whether you are only a student or only a master. Mastering something is way more malleable than the way I have been thinking about it. And that's what I want to adjust, because I genuinely think this is the root of what I'm sure many of us feel, which is imposter syndrome. I feel that constantly. I feel that here on YouTube. I feel that while teaching my classes. I feel that in my day job. I constantly feel like I am so underqualified in so many aspects, because there is always someone out there who knows so much more than me. So if this person is here, then how am I given the same opportunity as this other person who knows so much more than I do? But the thing is, and the thing I like telling myself, because it's something we all need to remind ourselves of it, is that first of all, there's always going to be someone who knows more than us, but also that someone has a completely different life experience, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of the student-master spectrum. We're not exactly the same, so therefore, why are we comparing ourselves to someone who also doesn't know everything? And while that someone may have more experience than you in one thing, maybe that's not the case in another thing. And what makes you competent for a job, for an opportunity, it's never one single experience. It's always going to be a combination of things. Of course, I didn't tell my student this entire rant, because this rant came upon me after pondering on this thought for days after having this particular class. But what I did tell him, and I guess it's a simple way of approaching this, is that yes, that we should never stop learning new skills. We should always be taking classes. We should always be looking to improve. And of course, that may not mean taking classes with a teacher. It could be taking classes online. It could be watching YouTube tutorials. It could be reading a book on the topic. It could be doing anything. But the point is, we should always be trying to improve our skills in the things that we love, regardless of what method we choose to improve them or what method works best for us. I'm someone who does very well in a class setting. I do well with a teacher. I like that a teacher keeps me accountable for things. So if I have the opportunity, the privilege, and can afford to take classes on something that I love, I will always choose that. But I can't possibly take classes on every single thing that I'm into, of course. So I also delve into books and tutorials and other methods of learning. The method that you choose doesn't matter. It makes a difference. But the most important thing is that you're actually doing it, that you're actually going out there and being at least somewhat disciplined about it, and finding those avenues through which you can further improve your skills and therefore yourself as an artist, as a professional, as a human, as whatever you identify as. So that is really what I wanted to talk about today. Of course, this was too much to journal in one single spread, especially with all of the ephemera that I like putting on my spreads. So you get two spreads out of one single journaling video. It's a bit of a bonus video in that sense. But that's all I have for you today. I will see you soon with another video, and have a fantastic day. Bye!